Hi guys, welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you know, in our last tutorial, we had learned about the three principles for Redux. That we have learned so far is there are three basic things need to be implement in the code. Those three things are Redux store that keeps your state, an action that is an object that defines that what actions will be performed inside the reducer, and a reducer method. So in today's tutorial, let's try to learn the very first thing regarding Redux with the help of JavaScript code, that is action. What action is actually? Actions for Redux store is the only way your application can interact with the store, or your application can update the state of your store by depending upon these actions. Carry some information from your application to the store, and we had learned in our last video as well that actions are just plain JavaScript objects and have a type property that indicates the type of an action being performed. So that property will let us know that what type. The property is known as type. That will let us know that what type of action is going to be performed. The type property is typically defined as string constants. So let's move forward to our project that we had created couple of videos ago and try to implement our very first action in Redux. Let me remove this console.log here. First of all, what I have to do here is I have to create an action. I can say action type, and what will be in our cake shop, we will be implementing cake shop firstly. That example we are learning from the very first video of this series. So that is by underscore cake. This what I am doing constant I am making. This is not necessary, although for you guys, if you want to, you can use that one. Otherwise you can pass the action directly to your object as well. But normally people, they use this method or this technique. It's very famous in programming, so we will be using that one. It helps you in one single thing, that is spelling mistake. It will avoid the spelling mistake that you can do later on in complex application while writing your actions. So what we have learned is action is nothing but just a JavaScript object that keeps type as a key. So our type will be in our action. I will keep as action type. And second thing is, I'll let you guys know that the action is an object that doesn't contain only one key type. You can pass as many keys as you want. Like for example, I will be passing another key info. You can pass empty string. You can pass a string. You can pass, for example, I will say key. For example, anything you can say, or I will say action 2, and you can say action 2, anything, whatever you want to pass, you can pass. So it's totally up to you, whatever you want to pass in your action. So these action you are containing directly in your file. That's not much better, and it's not like you can say up to mark as per programming level. I'll highly recommend you to first create a function that will allow you to create action. Okay, there will be a function that will allow you to create action. That function you can recall it as many times as you want. Okay, so for example, I will say here the parameter to that function will be, for example, type, whatever the action type you are going to be passing, action type. Okay, so let's say in my scenario what I am going to pass here is return, and it will be like this action type, whatever the parameter you will pass, it will return that one as an action to you. So this will look much better now. So like for example, I know this the picture is not clear in at this point for you guys, but just keep it in mind that you have to create this action couple of times in your application, 20, 30 times, and you don't know that this action type is saved where. It will be saved somewhere in some constant files. So that's not recommended to create an object directly in your file. If you will create a function to create an action, that will be pretty much good, and it will be well understanding also, and you can reuse it as well. But the picture will be clear for you later on in the coming some videos as well. You can understand it in more better way. But for the meantime, just keep it in mind that we had created an action object and we had created a function for create action also. Two things you had learned from this video. One of those is creating an action object. Second thing is creating a function to create an action object. So let's go back to our diagram. What we have learned until now is we have learned an action JavaScript app we had created already in our second lecture of this series, and now we had created an action in our JavaScript application. So stick to us with a couple of videos. We will be learning reducers and Redux stores in the coming videos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thank you. Goodbye.